FBA fees climbing, I'm losing my grip. Storage costs rising, they'll never let me skip. Refunds I'm eating, returns pile up too. Oh, Amazon, what else will you do? I look at my dashboard, my profits erased. My margins are gone, it's a slap in the face. Prime Day's a promise, but it's such a race. How much will I make if I'm replaced? It's a cruel, cruel number. Fees keep climbing, profits torn asunder. Oh, it's cruel, the sellers wonder how to survive when the margins go under. It's a cruel, cruel number. Every month it's something new to plunder. Oh, it's cruel, it's no wonder we're stuck in this game. The algorithm's thunder.
Yo, Amazon's back, and they got a new scheme. Reimbursement slashed, it's every seller's dream. They're digging deep, taking more from the pot. Let's break it all down, expose what they got. March 25, it's a policy drop. They say manufacturing costs, but we know it's a flop. Give us your cogs, they're demanding the price. But if you don't, they'll estimate nice. Nice for them, not for you. Watch your payout shrink. The comprehensive evil is a corporate wing. Lost in the warehouse, damaged on the floor. Now they pay you pennies, not a cent more. Fees on the rise, profits on the run. They don't lift a finger, but they pocket the fun. We're fair! They shout while they cut our shares. Amazon math, man, it's full of errors. Fees, taking our dough. They're stacking the deck, and it's sellers who owe. Reimbursement? Nah, they're taking us down, but we're still here, we don't mess around. Fees, straight to the top. Amazon's game, it'll never stop. Margins tight, but we keep the grind. Sellers unite, we're one of a kind.
I try to sell my product on Amazon, thought it'd be a breeze. But little did I know I'd be stuck with seller support disease. They never seem to solve my problems, just give me the run around. I'm tired of waiting on hold. My patience is wearing thin, I'll never be found. Amazon seller support, you suck, you suck, you suck. Can't get no satisfaction. I'm out of luck, out of luck, out of luck. You don't care about my business, just trying to make a buck. Amazon seller support, you suck, you suck, you suck.
This one's for the sellers on the grind, getting left on red, wasting all their time. I hit up support, got an auto reply. Thanks for your patience, man, I wanna cry. Inventory lost, my margins are toast. Reps playing tag like the Casper the Ghost. They pass me around, it's a never-ending game. Nobody takes action, everybody shifts blame. My ASIN's down, I'm out of the race. They say they'll escalate, yo, what a disgrace. Amazon seller support, you're breaking my heart. No answers, no fixes, just tearing me apart. Hours in the queue, stuck in the dark. Amazon seller support, you're missing the mark.
Amazon game plan, that is the key. Seller central dashboard, that's where I be. Analyze the funnel, see what we lack, then we optimize. Sellers know it's a fact. I get it poppin', you know that it's lit. Climbing the rankings, ain't no room to quit. I check the data, they notice the stats. I keep the method, that's how you adapt. Metrics are showing, you know it's our cap. Amazon sellers, it's time to react. I'm about that action, I do this with passion. I got them like, whoa, what is this? Huh, whoa.
I don't know, dude. I think everybody's just buying stuff based on reviews and badges or whatever. They don't even know who we are. These customers don't even know the name of my brand. But they keep clicking add to cart like it's part of the plan. They see that Amazon badge and think it's all grand. But yo, they don't even know the name of my brand.
Click, scroll, build your store. Amazon's waiting, what you waiting for? Brand it loud, make it shine. Steven's here to drop the rhyme. Blue tiles, banners, plug and play. Your storefront's live, let's sell a day. Now listen up, I'm Steven Pope, Amazon guru, I'll help you cope. Step 1, get that that trademark stamped. Without brand registry, your Amazon cramped. Head to Seller Central, log in quick. Manage stores tab, yeah, that's the trick. Upload your logo, flex that style. You're about to make Jeff Bezos smile. Where pick a template, marquee, or grid. Drop your tiles like a branding whiz. Hero image, big and bold. This store's gonna glitter like digital gold. Flex, grow, build your store. Amazon's waiting, what you waiting for? Brand it loud, make it shine. Steven's here to drop the rhyme. Blue tiles, banners, plug and play. Your storefront's live, let's sell the day. Yo. In the trenches of the Amazon game, trying to survive while it's driving me insane. Nobody warns you, they just claim it's passive income. Nah, it's pain. I'm sitting at a birthday, laughing, chilling, next to a newbie Amazon seller spilling. She's like, Prime so smooth, it's a killer. Then tried to sell, now she's stuck in a thriller. Finding products, yeah, that's the first grind. Scrolling Alibaba, losing my mind. Sample suck, manufacturers decline. I'm like, dang, how's anyone doing this fine? Ship it in, pay for the bubble wrap, but they ship glass bottles in padded crap. Now I got hot sauce leaks, refund stack, customers pissed. Man, I'm under attack. Amazon's a beast, it's a fight, no peace. From SEO to PPC, the hustle don't cease. Think it's passive? Nah, you better increase your tolerance for chaos or face defeat. Trademark wars, brand registry's a scam. They banned my brand, now I'm in a jam. Listings yanked, products ranked and tanked. Lost dogs in the catalog, my account shanked. Now let's talk ads, it's a rabbit hole. 1,000 hours deep, man, it's taking my soul. Weekly negations, bulk sheets for control. Excel's my new weapon, but it's taking its toll. SEO's no joke, keywords in the game. All text, A+ content, playing insane. Lifestyle shots, avatars for fame, but the CTR's low, all products look the same. Amazon's a beast, it's a fight, no peace. From SEO to PPC, from SEO to PPC, the hustle don't cease. Think it's passive? Nah, you better increase your tolerance for chaos or face defeat.
Let's go to Max School. To Max School. Class is now in session with Professor Pope. They got the S&P cause Professor Pope wrote the recipe, helping Amazon sellers grow sales exponentially. Amazon's a jungle, but we map the strategy. Brand strategist playbook, it's a guide to victory. Troubleshooting catalogs, you know we got the answer key. Boosting all your rankings, turning sales into a legacy. SOB so deep, you think we studied at Max School. Every step we follow leads to growth, yeah, it's a golden rule. Stuck on keywords, we'll find the ones that work the best. Using Helium-10, strike distance keywords pass the test. Incremental indexing ensures the listing set to rise. From the back end to the bullets, optimization hits the skies. Brand store creation, yeah, we make it shine and flow. A+ content design makes conversions overflow. Need your images on point, best practices in the plan. All text and photo rules ensure your visuals command. SEO meets PPC, it's balanced, every step aligned. We'll construct the MKLs that drive rankings over time. Budget caps and bid adjustments, no more wasted spending. Segmentation builds campaigns that sellers can defend. Got a hijacker, no problem, we'll file to take them down. Review requests in action, 5-star ratings come around. Flat file updates, market share reports, it's all in reach. Professor Pope wrote the SOP so sellers learn and teach.
Meanwhile, my Amazon guys on the case, fixing up my problems at lightning pace. Ticket escalations, Mag's the boss. Even Amazon says we'll take the loss. Seller support don't know what's up. Passing the buck when the issue gets tough. They're the official team, but they can't comply. So they say, reach out to my Amazon guy. They're supposed to be the pros, but they can't decode policies and tools from their own damn road. I'm paying fees, yet they bring me stress. But Mag turns my chaos into pure success. Seller support reps, they throwing shade, but then admit, yo, Mag will get you paid. Third-party agency taking the throne while Amazon fumbles in their own damn zone. Seller support don't know what's up. Passing the buck when the issue gets tough. They're the official team, but they can't comply. So they say, reach out to my Amazon guy. So here's the truth, let's keep it real. Mag's the team with the pro-level skill. Amazon sellers, you know the vibe when support says call Mag. They'll give you peace of mind. Amazon seller support, you can suck my image stack. Sucking is all you're good at anyway. Bezos, hit me up if you want to sell seller support. I'm buying. There's a Jace. Peace.
All right. So would you like to get more sales on Amazon? it's getting a little crowded out there. It's hard to get, how do you keep growing? How do you get on the top of another page? How do you get people from outside of Amazon to buy your product? And if that sounds of interest to you, definitely want to check out this conversation here with Owen Guetschow, the director of go-to-market strategy with Levanta. So Owen, first off, thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Kevin. Not to get us too off topic here to begin with, but I gotta say, I like the music in the intro there. That must have been a fun few days in the team Slack coming up with that.
Yes, we played around with that and got some music taken care of. So, yeah, so super excited to get into this conversation. And folks are like, "What are they talking about?" Just go back a few seconds and you can hear the end of it. Try to make it a little catchy there. So, all right, just want to make sure I'm not talking into a dead room, so to speak. So if you don't mind, for those of you watching, and remember, from time to time, I will reward participation. Just let me know that you can hear me. I always have, it feels like an excuse every time I say this of why things aren't working, but it's just maybe an irrational fear. But I am actually on vacation, dedication here, because we want to bring this information to the folks here. I am out and about and I'm not at home. So I'm on a Wi-Fi network I'm not normally on. So if you can hear me, let me know. Mikhail at least gave the heart symbol. I think this is they say the millennial heart, because my daughter is Gen Z and they have a slightly different heart. Like they don't use the thumb, which is interesting. That is literally a conversation I had yesterday with my daughter.
Really? I haven't heard that one.
Well, you got to get with the times, you know. The Gen Zs and the Gen Alphas have their own speech patterns. All right. So then Sahil says hello. Mikhail, who had the heart, says, yeah, we're hearing you. Okay. So good. So Sahi and Mikhail, if you don't mind, go ahead, email podcast@myamazonguy.com, and I'll give you a free mag school course valued at $100 just for participating. So it used to be people make fun of participation trophies. We reward them here. So Viper says hello and says all good over here. So it sounds like he can hear. So Owen, do you think we should give Viper 1213 a free course as well?
Oh, I think so.
All right. So good.
Yeah.
All right. So we're going to give another 100. Owen's giving away all our money here. So free $100 course. So just email podcast at myamazonguy.com and our team will get you a free mag school course just for participating. And that's for the people who are participating. So if you watch the replay, join us live and you can get a, who knows, you might qualify to get something free in the future. So, all right. So let's get into it. So real quick, for folks who are not familiar, who is Levanta and what do you guys do to help sellers?
Yeah, absolutely. So we are the affiliate marketing platform, marketplace tracking tool for Amazon sellers specifically. So we were the first tool in the space to hook up with, Amazon attribution and a few other channels to allow Amazon sellers to launch, scale, and run a true affiliate program for their Amazon store. Little background, affiliate marketing as a whole has been around for quite a while over in the D2C side of things. But thanks to Amazon's data policies and, general unwillingness to share data, it's always been pretty difficult for sellers to run a true third-party external marketing channel. Again, until a few years ago. So a few APIs opened up, a few policy changes, and we're able to build our platform to actually allow Amazon sellers to hook up in just a few clicks, set commission rates for all their products, and then take their catalog of ASINs and go work with our network of, 15,000 plus affiliates who are influencers, media publications like CNN and BuzzFeed, et cetera, and have them all, promote your products all on a cost per sale basis as the general. So a lot more there, but that's the general idea we got going over here.
Awesome. And it used to, because I've been selling for 10 years, and it used to be there was this notion that like, oh, if you send external traffic, it's not going to convert at the same rate, and that's going to tank your listing. Is that a concern?
No, it's actually the opposite. And to be fair, I haven't been in the Amazon game for as long as you have, but I heard the same thing that, Amazon used to prioritize, inner marketplace traffic much more heavily. But, those priorities tended to shift a little bit. We saw it again with the APIs that opened up, but all the brand referral bonus and a handful of other policy changes. And it's pretty clear they're actually, almost did a 180 here. right? So they're actually rewarding you with bonuses back for driving external sales. The external traffic is helping your organic search and your bestseller rank. And if it's not, punishing you, then you're just getting to tap into this brand new audience off platform to drive revenue back to your listing, right? So it sounds like they did a pretty big 180 since back a few years ago there.
Yeah, and who knows if that was even the case, or people just thought like, oh yeah, it's gonna be a bad idea,
Right.
stay on the platform. Because the belief was always, okay, you got the platform, so you got search traffic and people are searching for an item. But then at a certain point, there's only so many people searching and there's more and more products coming on. And it's like, well, you could, kind of get more paid placements. Then Amazon kept filling in more places you could get paid placements, but then those fill up and the bids keeps going up. So at a certain point, Amazon, there's only so many people on the platform, even though they're huge. It's hard to drive, a mile down the street and not see an Amazon van, but still, there's only so many people searching for products on Amazon. So they are spending all this money on marketing. So they're probably like, well, let's have them also spend money on marketing and whatnot, because they don't want you to just send all your traffic somewhere else. They want you to send it to their platform. So one of the concerns, with getting CNN or, some mom blogger or something to, whether it's, write a blog post or do a video or something like that, is like, how do you even find the right people? And, is affiliate marketing even something they're interested in doing? Like, how do you even come up with it?
Absolutely. And that kind of actually, just checking in the comments here, that actually relates really closely to one of Viper's questions here about how a platform like Levanta differs from just finding people and using Amazon attribution standalone. And, one of the biggest benefits of what we built in just a platform like Levanta is, number one, to your point, Kevin, just an aggregation of creators, right? So we function as a marketplace. We have tens of thousands of these creators signed up, registered, and using Levanta to promote brands. So they're already kind of in one.
They've already raised their hand and said, this is part of my business model.
Exactly. This is part of their business model. They're looking for Amazon products and brands to promote on this CPA basis. But then again, we've also built in a number of different filters and tools so you can cut it down by the Amazon product categories they promote, their type of promotional method, even the follower count by social media if you're trying to make an influencer play, to find those influencers who are kind of more in your niche, or creators, in your niche, and then reach out to them. Again, there also is a component here where, because it is all CPA and it is all a percentage of the eventual sale, there's no harm in building a larger program, right? Because someone's not a great fit, they don't drive sales, you're not out a penny, right? We help you narrow it down, but then we also do have this collection of creators in volume who are looking to promote Amazon brands that you can go and work with and kind of cast that wide net as well.
Okay, good deal. Yeah, because let's get into some very basic stuff, because I think for a lot of folks watching this, you hear about influencer marketing, you hear like, oh, Kim Kardashian, shared a product and they went big or whatever.
Yeah.
But, if you want Kim Kardashian to do your product or to promote your product, it's probably going to cost you like $1 million or something like that. And, even much smaller creators with decent size, maybe let's say 1 million subscribers or followers, you might pay, multiple 5 figures or whatever just for them to do a post.
Right.
So are people having to shell out a lot of money to get creators to promote their product?
Yeah, I mean, that is kind of the other side of influencer specific marketing, right? There are those brand plays, and there are those, paid placement and flat fees that, especially with those massive Kim Kardashian-esque influencers, I mean, to be very honest, you're not going to find, 100 million plus Instagram followers on Levanta, right? What you're going to find much more of is your 1 million, 2 million, 500,000, 100,000, 50,000 follower count, those kind of mid-tier and long tail influencer types. And they're actually on the platform because they're looking to work with brands for 0 flat fee, but a commission of the sales they drive. Some of our most productive influencers specifically are Facebook mom groups, or, Facebook fitness groups, or the likes. And they may have an audience of 100,000 or 200,000 in their group, but because it's so vertical specific and they're only promoting products that are exactly what fits within their audience type, they will move quite a large volume of traffic, even without those massive, 10 million plus audiences. So it's much more in that realm, and it is all strictly CPA based.
Got it. So let's say somebody, and we've got some questions people are asking, which don't
Yeah.
worry, folks, we'll get to those here in just a minute. But what I do want to do is just kind of set the stage here is like, okay, so let's say an influencer agrees to work with a seller. What does the process look like from there? Do they send them a product? How do they even have the product to do it?
Yeah, absolutely. So kind of step one is finding each other in the marketplace, right? So the brands can go and use all those filters we talked about and send out invites. On the creator side of the marketplace, they have the exact same discovery tools. So they're also actively looking through brands and ASINs to find products they want to promote and applying to work with those brands. So as a seller within the Levanta dashboard, you're going to send out your invites, but you're also going to have a running list of inbound applications for you to go through and approve or reject. Once you approve them, they're in your program, right? And that's when they have access to your links and they can start promoting you or messaging you in platform or anything else. With influencers specifically, though, they do need to get products in their hands, right? There's no real way to make an Instagram post about something without a physical product.
Right.
And what's actually, I'm glad we're talking about this now, is that 2 weeks ago, we actually launched our product seeding feature. So we're integrated directly with the seller API with Amazon now. So creators can request products and brand can actually approve product samples in just one click within our platform. So Influencer X joins my program. They want to promote a shoe I'm selling. They can actually one click request the product. And if I take a look at their profile and want them to have that shoe to promote, I can approve it in platform and that sample is automatically fulfilled through your Amazon account and shipped right to them without you having to do anything else. So it's kind of one aggregation for product sampling, logistics, tracking, all of that without you having to go collect addresses, manually fulfill it on your back end and everything else as well.
Okay, got it. So then that gets sent out to them. So how do you know that they're the ones who did it? Because like if people are familiar with like UTM parameters and stuff like that, that wouldn't work on Amazon because Amazon holds all this data.
Yeah. So through our integration with Amazon attribution and creator connections, and then the link layering we do on top of it, we are able to track all of the reporting down to the individual affiliate level. So within our dashboard, you're able to see an aggregated view of your program performance on a daily, monthly level, as well as though actually on a per creator level and a per product level. So you're able to see, hey, influencer X drove this many sales on ASIN Y. Influencer Z drove this many sales. Play with those timeframes and reporting. Everything's very transparent there. Amazon's APIs feed us all that data, and we're able to, again, kind of display and help you track that on a per creator basis.
Okay, got it. Now, and for folks who aren't familiar, if people purchase through that link, if a customer purchases through that link, does the seller get a little bit of a kickback?
Yeah, absolutely. So on attribution sales, as long as you're, 3-piece seller central, every sale through Levanta qualifies for the Brand Referral Bonus program via Amazon. For those of you not familiar, this is an Amazon program that directly rewards external sales driven through Amazon attribution. And again, there's a range of bonus payouts based on your verticals, but it's around 10% on average. And what happens is 2 months after the product is delivered, you'll receive a credit for 10% of that purchase amount directly towards your Amazon bills. So this is actually Amazon directly funding your growth on sales that come from off platform.
Yeah, that's the way of subsidizing some of this. So
exactly,
what is an attractive affiliate commission, so to speak, like percentage wise of the sale that the affiliate would want to see?
Yeah, it varies pretty wildly based on product vertical and AOV and everything, as I'm sure you can imagine. Site wide within Levanta, we see it typically being around 20 to 21%. Again, like high price point electronics, you can get away with 3 or 4%. And the other end for like supplements and other high margin items, it's closer to 30, 40, et cetera. But call it, 20%, you're right on average. Your costs after the brand referral bonus, that's actually 10%, right? So you can play around and either get more competitive with your commission rates to beat out the competition, scale up quicker, et cetera, or take those savings, right, as money back in your pocket.
Yeah. What's really cool about that, if you think about it, like, if you were to do PPC and let's say your PPC ACOS was 30%, you would have spent 30%. Amazon wasn't going to give you 10% of that back. When
Right.
we say 10%, it's really going from like a 30% ACoS to a 20% ACoS. So if you do a 30% affiliate commission, Amazon's not immediately, but you can
Within a
account
month or
for this
two,
over time. Yeah. You get 10% back. It's now effectively a 20% commission. You gave them 30%. Amazon really gave them the other 10% in a roundabout sense. But basically, you are only really only paying out 20% of the sale. And you were saying earlier that you're finding that people are getting a better bump in sales, like in ranking and sales on the platform because of this traffic that they're sending to their listings?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, outside of, again, all the benefits that, hey, you tap into new audiences and you're getting a whole lot of new sales, you're going to get more reviews and moving more volume. That's going to help you. But again, while Amazon hasn't been explicit about it, from some of the case studies that we've seen, it also seems pretty clear that their search algorithm does reward external traffic as well. So we've seen some of our brands that, we've kind of been able to run in a vacuum here, see 97% increases to their BSR with their only marketing channel being affiliate marketing via Levanta.
Oh, wow.
So again, able to tap into direct sales via affiliates, but also, again, getting some money back from Amazon versus the BRB, and just helping out your organic search and your BSR as well, just from Amazon rewarding you for driving external traffic back to the platform.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Viper 1213 says the issue with attribution is that some people accept and then they don't really do much.
Yeah.
I believe that the influencers will help. Okay. So I think this question, if I'm understanding it, is basically, this is a rub I have heard about, like influencers and stuff like that. People are like, oh yeah, we'll do it. And then, you send them the product, then they're like, I never got around to it.
Yeah.
How do you prevent that?
Yeah. That's kind of the, not downside, but like kind of the flip side of the coin here, where you're not entering into contracts with them. You're not paying flat fees, but that also means that there's no guarantee of promotion.
Mm-hmm.
They could join your program. You send them an invite, they join, they take a look at your ASINs and say, hey, maybe this isn't as good for a fit for my audience as I thought. Or you invite them and then a competitor invites them and is offering them 10% more commission. From their side, they're also running a business, right? So they're going to choose the offers that is going to make them the most money at the end of the day as well. So that is the thing here, is that there is the onus on the sellers to make your program, your products, your commission rates attractive to the influencers, right? Because at the end of the day, they're dedicating how much of their bandwidth and audience interest and everything else that they can put towards your product based on their expected earnings. So Viper, long way of saying there is no guarantee with these things, and that does happen. But number one, with influencers, you can get a lot more niche and cast a wider net. And then also, again, you can make some small tweaks just around your listing, your invites, the languages you're offering, private commissions, a handful of other factors that can really boost engagement rate as well.
Yes. So one thing I would say to folks is, with this is like, you try out new keywords, like in your PPC ads. Let's say you get 20 clicks and no sales, and it was $1 a click. That was $20 you just spent to test that keyword. Well, if let's say you send an influencer your product, and your product, let's just say it cost you $5, and let's say it cost you another $7 to ship it to them. I don't know what it would cost. Let's just use that math here for now. Or even let's just say your product is $8, like is your cost of goods sold, plus $7 to ship it. That's $15. You spent less to test that than you did for that keyword that didn't work out, because you don't know what keywords are going to work out, which ones don't. But these, correct me if I'm wrong, these are going to have some pretty big upside potential. Like, what are some extreme examples? Now, we put an asterisk of extreme examples of, like,
100%.
An influencer shares something out, and then like, oh my goodness, now the seller is concerned about having enough inventory. Like, what are some, like, kind of like the outlier, like, how good can it possibly be examples?
Yeah. I mean, the upside is our largest sellers directly through Levanta are driving well over $1 million a month in revenue. And that's just with their Levanta links being promoted by.
Just through their Levanta platform. Okay.
Yeah, so that's not across Amazon.
So there's people doing 8 figures through affiliate influencer marketing.
7, but yes. Yeah. I don't think we have
okay,
any.
got it.
Monthly. Oh, I guess 8-figure annual. Yes. 7-figure monthly.
Annual. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yes.
For a second, I was like,
I changed the variable on you there.
No, but we're talking, well over 7 figures a month in revenue directly through Levanta. So that's high end cumulatively. Like the one that always sticks out to me on like a individual seller basis with like a sudden uptick here is we had I guess we still do, but we had a grill scraper company join the platform, ran for a few months, just right around the summertime, just something to clean your grill off with. And they got picked up by a pretty major publication that you all have heard of, and I've mentioned a few times already. But they went from doing $50, $60 a day to they cleared $400K in a weekend just because they got a placement in like a 4th of July blast that went out to their audience of a couple million.
Okay.
So they went from nothing to, oh my gosh, we got mid 6 figures in revenue and, almost 6 figures in cost generated in one weekend because we got a placement with a big publication. Right. So again, these are very extreme examples, but if you have the right product fit and you get picked up by the right affiliate partner, there can be some pretty drastic, extreme, immediate results just because they are putting your products in front of an audience of thousands or millions, right?
And the interesting thing there with that example you gave of a grill scraper, I mean, that is about as garlic press yoga mat as you can get, like the generic Amazon product. Like there's, it's not like this like unique, like, oh my gosh, it's going to go viral because people have never seen something like this before. You're talking about something very basic.
100%.
And so that is a very basic private label type product, but just picked up by the right audience at the right time.
100%. And that's the thing. I know we're talking about influencers a lot here, but if you're working with publications or media buyers or some of these other groups, that doesn't even require a sample, right? So this brand launched, they set their commission rates. They weren't seeing huge results necessarily right off the bat, but there wasn't a huge investment because if they were driving $50 in sales a day, they were costing $12 and, it was just kind of running in the background. But then someone picks them up, publishes an article about top 5 things you need for 4th of July this year and includes your grill scraper. And all of a sudden you've got millions of eyeballs on that. Right. So again, preface this all with, these are some of the extreme results, but that is like the top 1% kind of upside here,
Okay. Got it. Yeah. We'll go into some other case studies here in just a minute, but like, I'm sure something like that, like they forgot about everybody who didn't, who took the product and didn't, do anything with it.
Yeah. I don't think they were too worried about a handful of product samples that didn't convert after that.
Yeah, exactly. That all went away at that point. All right. So Sean Waterloo asks, or Shane or Sean asks, we have tens of thousands of products listed on Amazon. Do you have to tag certain products, or can you tag a brand page and pay if they purchase any product at all?
Yeah, absolutely. That's a pretty common concerns brands have, especially when they have, such a high volume of ASINs like that. The good news is that you can set your commission rates in bulk and everything's automated from there. So when you sign up for an account, we'll import your tens of thousands of ASINs into our system. And then you can go through and select all and pay out, again, call it 20% across the board. You don't have to manually go through and set them all. Or if you do want a few different tiers, you can also get that set up in a CSV file and just upload that and it'll automatically configure it for you. So again, don't worry about having to manually set and track this. It's basically one batch upload here, and then all the reporting and tracking is automated for you.
Awesome. Well, Shane, thank you for your question. Like I said, we from time to time will reward participation. So just email podcast@myamazonguy.com and we will send you a free coupon code for a $100 mag school course. Just for taking the time out of your day to ask a very good question there. All right. So Viper says, can I offer bonuses, prizes for hitting certain metrics? For example, if they sell 1,000 units in a month, they get a $100 gift card.
Yeah, absolutely. We also do have the ability to issue flat fee payments through our platform. So it's not as utilized as the commissions, right? Just because kind of that commission CPA payout is the bedrock of an affiliate program. But we do also within Levanta have the ability to set CPC payments, flat fee payments, bonus tier payouts, all of that. So when
you say CPC, like you're paying them for every click.
Yes. And again, I'd say it's a less utilized feature, right? Just because
that's dangerous.
It can be a little dangerous. Well, we see it more as you don't want that to be like your core strategy. That's more of a, hey, I'm just launching my program. I'm in a competitive vertical. I can't offer 50% commissions right out of the bat. But if I offer a CPC, these affiliates are going to jump on that. And when they prove out that my product converts, I can move them over to a CPA model. So again, some of these other methodologies are more like a hook to get people interested, but I wouldn't do that as like a long-term play.
Can you run limited time specials like, hey, for the next 2 weeks, 50% commissions or something like that?
Yeah.
That might be okay.
100%. So number one, you have the ability to change they're called public commissions. That's what everyone sees and earns kind of as the default. It's like your public terms. You can change those at any time. So as we're queuing up for Prime Day here, a lot of our brands are going in and upping those public commissions, what's available in the marketplace and kind of your baseline terms. And what you also have access to do is set private commissions. So again, you don't necessarily want to pay everyone the same rate, right?
Right. Everyone's equal, but some are more equal than others.
Exactly. Influencer Owen here. I come to you with 5,000 followers. You're like, hey, you can come in. I'm only going to pay you 15%. But again, I'm going to keep using them. But CNN joins the program and says, hey, got a great audience for you, but we need more than 15%. You can go ahead and pay them 25 and no one else will see and earn that rate. So you can set your commissions on a per creator basis. And then to your point, you can also time those so they can run for a set period of time as well.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah.
So we talked about the extreme example of major publication, they got like 6 figures in sales and it was crazy.
Yeah.
What about like some of the smaller creators? Because you could theoretically have an army of 5,000 follower creators. If they're the right kind, that's very specific to your niche, they could convert really well.
And I'd say that's probably a more effective strategy right out the gate for sellers looking at this channel for the first time. I know it's very attractive when you enter a new marketplace like this to say, hey, wow, all these people tagged as top creators. I'm going to go work with CNN, Wirecutter, the 2 million follower Instagram person and everyone else. But again, everyone's going that route, right? So it's kind of like what we're talking about with PPC, where if you're going the route and bidding on the keywords that everyone else is, it's going to get expensive and hard to get noticed.
So, can you hear me?
Oh, we lose some people? Kevin? Shoot. Can't tell. Someone leave a comment. I'm not sure if you can hear me or Kevin or which one of us froze.
Oh, sorry. I think it might have disappeared there for a second. Can you hear me, Owen?
I can hear you now, Kevin. I'll say I lost you for a few seconds. Not sure
Sorry
which end.
about that. Sorry, didn't mean to leave you there. So yes, Kevin froze. Sorry about that. Like I said, I'm out and about right now. It's not at my normal spot, but yes. So, but I'm sure Owen did a great job while I was out. So basically, we were talking about you could have potentially an army of creators.
Yes.
And smaller ones. So what would be the strategy of finding those? Is it better to go after the CNNs and the Fox Newses and the BuzzFeeds of the world, or go after like mom blogger or camping blogger if, let's say, you sell camping equipment?
Yeah, I'd say like right off the bat, so you launch your program today, maybe spend the first 2 to 3 days sending invites to all those large publications and media buyers.
Like, why not?
Because, again, why not? If they want to pick you up, that's where there's the highest immediate upside. So it doesn't hurt to send invitations their way. But I would focus a large amount of my recruitment time on those more mid-tier and long tail, especially if you're not, the largest Amazon seller in the world with household recognition, or you can't offer like outlandish commission rates, right? Just because finding your niche is where you're going to get the most effective pickup, right? So if it was me, I'd go into our platform, I'd sort by my category, I'd set my minimum or maximum follower count for Instagram or Facebook. Maybe I set it at 50K, 25K, etc. And I just go look for those longer tail creators, send them invites, shoot them a message, have them back and forth, even go check out their content. We link out to all their socials. So you can go see what type of posts they have, if they have any history of promotion, anything else. I think it would be those types of creators and also like bloggers and content sites that I would focus on, just because, again, until you build up and you have that recognition or the outlandish commission rates to get wide coverage with the top 1% of players, I think finding your niche with that mid-tier and long tail is a really effective strategy right out the gates.
Okay. Yeah. And just to keep in mind too, like if you send out invites, not everybody's going to say yes. You get yeses, and then you might not want them, or you might decide, oh, I'm not going to, or and then when you send out products, not everyone's necessarily going to create a video, which is a little bit of a rub, but we said, you can test out new keywords and you may never get a sale. So 100%. There's opportunities you got to test out here.
And that's also with the sampling specifically. I do want to call that out because that's kind of like the one flat fee piece here that I know brands are worried about is, hey, I'm going to spend, maybe I commit $200 to sending out samples and I have no guarantee of return. You don't have to approve every request you get either. So I also say be mindful if you do have a limited budget there. You can go check out their profiles. You can message them. You can even take it to email or DMs or anything. Communicate, see what content they have, get a sense for what they have in mind, and then pull the trigger and send them samples, right? You don't just have to send a sample to every single influencer who joins your program right off the bat either.
Yeah, that's a very good point. All right. So if you want more information, you can always go to lvanta.io. Owen and his team were very generous to share with us and our audience this guide you can get for affiliate marketing for Amazon sellers. So if you would like to get the guide, you can just head on over there'll be a link down in the description, but you can always go to lvanta.io. But if you go to the link in the description, you can get the free guide, which I downloaded. It's pretty in depth. So thank you guys for putting that together. Yeah.
It's one of those where, again, this whole influencer affiliate marketing world is all of 2.5, 3 years old for Amazon sellers. So there's a pretty big educational lift too, right? Like you got to be running your own programs. There's a lot of nuance there. So we try and provide as much resourcing as possible to help everyone out.
Yeah. And it's not like you're having to PayPal these people once a month. Correct me if I'm wrong. This is your software takes care of figuring all of that calculation.
Yeah. So we're integrated with Stripe to handle all payments. Essentially what happens at the end of each month, you'll receive an invoice. You got 30 days to fulfill that invoice. And that invoice is going to cover all of your fees and charges across the platform and all of the creators in your program. So you make one payment a month and, one payment through Stripe. So again, credit card, bank account, ACH, et cetera. And then we actually take that and split it up and distribute it to the individual affiliates for you. So go work with 5,000 of them and you're still going to have the same invoice lift at the end of the month.
Awesome. All right. So Shane says, with Amazon already taking a percentage of every sale, how would I protect my margins if I'm paying 20% less than a kickback to an influencer? Yeah,
that's the whole game here, right? Is that you need to set those commission rates at a number that makes sense with your margins. So that 20% is an average. But again, like I mentioned earlier, a lot of these, tech companies or home goods or anything else or high AOV, they might have lower margins. So they're setting their commission rates commensurate with what they have to play with. So maybe it's not 20% for your products. Maybe it's 15, 10, even as low as 5. And then kind of the calculations you have to make and we can help you with, or whoever you're consulting with can help you with, is whether that commission rate is going to be competitive in your vertical, right? That's all it comes down to. You're not really competing with all of Amazon here. You're competing with companies in your vertical. And if your margins don't justify a commission rate that's competitive, all you're going to end up doing is spinning your wheels a little bit, right? Because at the end of the day, the affiliates are also looking to make money and choose the products they expect to see the biggest return from. So,
well, and correct me if I'm wrong, I would imagine there's a little bit of a halo effect with this of creator puts out a video on Reels, it goes viral, and maybe they have a link in the description or something like that. But some people, you say, even though we just said, link in the description, I guarantee somebody watching this will say, oh, but I went to Google, I typed in Levanta, and then I pulled it up. So there's people who, available on Amazon, they go search for it on Amazon and they buy it. And so that actually might help you in search too.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be that. And like you mentioned, all of this also helps your search ranking, everything else. There absolutely is halo effects that are beneficial and I urge people to take into account. just also want to be very mindful that like I don't want to sit here and tell you to go into the red on the direct sales because of
just
Halo
70% commission because you might get a couple extra sales.
Yeah. So it's very real and it's very beneficial. And we got some case studies and all that we can share over after this with you guys on some of those halo effects. But just in regards to like what you're setting in commission, what you're seeing in-house and calculating your ROAS on, that's where you just need to be mindful of the margins that you're playing with, not to kind of overstretch yourself there.
Yeah. And well, before I get into some other questions people have, one question I have is that like if people do, let's say a creator does a video for you.
Yep.
Do you have to negotiate with them if you want to use that video in the future? Are they open to that? Is that a no-no to even ask?
Yeah. Like UGC plays and everything else. It's interesting. And it's definitely been a major area of focus for us and something that we're looking at a little more. But by default, an affiliate relationship does not entitle you to content ownership, just like default terms. Now, what we see a lot of brands doing is negotiating with creators either for premium commission rates or issuing a flat fee. So saying, hey, you're earning 20%, but we'll send you $100 if we can use the content afterwards. They're doing all of that in platform because we do have all those different payment methodologies and messaging. But as a direct default, you don't own that content right away. So that is kind of like an extra step you need to negotiate.
Yeah, that's one way to burn a bridge with a creator is if you just start using that content without getting their permission. Because I mean, if you think about it, like it's their platform, they're putting their name on the line, so to speak, to promote your product. They're putting their creativity out there. Now, another thing that might be a question too for some folks is like, are you giving all creative control to them? Can you at least say, hey, please make sure to say X, Y, and Z in it? Is there too much? Is it negotiable?
Yeah, 100%. So again, in a similar vein, like what they put out is their say. Like there's no way for you to block what someone publishes on their TikTok account, right? But what we see a lot of brands do that's really effective is either in your brand description or in your welcome message or in your communication back and forth, you can share over Google Drive links or anything else. You can send over, hey, a brief brand brief, maybe here's some other examples of effective content. Here are our top 3 selling points, etc. This is kind of a less Levanta specific thing than like general influencer management. I'm always of the mind that the more hands-off you are, the better, right? Kind of the good thing about this setup with affiliate marketing is that the affiliates are incentivized to make your products look good because they're only getting paid if they sell. So if they take
exactly, they want
you're not going to make any money, right? So the more authentic that it is, and it should be positive because they're trying to sell products for you, the better. But if you do have some key talking points or want to share some examples, we give you that ability through in-platform messaging or sharing over a Google Drive link or anything else.
Yeah, and it's probably one of those things too. Like, don't get offended if they say, like, oh, and I wish it did X, Y, or Z, or it would be better if what, because if it did this, because oftentimes they're trying to present not totally like 100% sunshine, because otherwise people might not believe them.
Right. Yeah. I mean, how many times have you been on Instagram or TikTok and you see someone just like raving about, again, I don't know, a grill scraper being the best thing you've ever seen in your life? Like, all right, this is a paid placement. Like, I'm not trusting it.
Exactly. This is the best grill ever.
It changed my life. Again, that's not going to work on anybody, right? So you got to let them be authentic to themselves and their audience.
Yeah, definitely. All right, cool. So Viper also asks, is Levanta only for Amazon sellers, or can you use it in DTC, direct-to-consumer brands also participate, such as Etsy and Shopify, other platforms?
Yeah. So right now, we're not doing anything D2C. Being in the marketplaces is kind of our differentiator. There are platforms out there, and that ecosystem has existed for quite a long time. So honestly, what a lot of Amazon sellers do who also have D2C presences will have a Levanta program and a program on another platform for their D2C. Again, because right now the D2C platforms don't offer marketplaces and vice versa. So I would just say there's a whole lot of options right out there for D2C, but at this moment in time, Levanta does not offer, integration with Etsy or Shopify or anything like that.
Okay, good deal.
Yeah.
Viper also asks, can Levanta work for Amazon Kindle Direct Publishing?
Not as of yet. Right now we're seller and vendor central. So you do 1P and 3P, but we're not with Kindle yet.
Got it. Okay. And then how do you get paid?
Yeah. So we work on a mixed fee model. We got a couple different tiers of plans, but monthly SaaS fee plus monthly variable fee. Again, got some tiers. General baseline, $750 a month plus 3.5%, but lower or higher based on your interest in variable spend versus flat fees and all of that. So yeah, we charge the sellers. It's completely free for the creators, which is why we have such high engagement from our creators. Because again, they're only getting paid when they promote you.
Okay, well, that's good. All right. And then does Levanta influencers offer product videos if I want them to? Oh, this is kind of like what I was just asking. If I want them to create a product review video and I get a copy of it.
Yeah, good question, Viper. Again, you will have access to these creators. They're not just going to promote you and disappear off into the ether to get paid at the end of the month. You have access to them via in-platform messaging, email, everywhere else. So if you want to communicate and get usage right for any of this content, message them. You can issue a flat fee via the platform. Run with it how you like.
Okay, got it. And are they generally open to that?
Yeah, I found 9 times out of 10, especially if we're talking about kind of what we've been discussing today, like those long tail of influencers, maybe not with the massive 1 million+ followers.
Yeah,
they're absolutely open to it, right? Like a lot of times these are small businesses that this is probably not their main source of income, right? But if they pick it up and they have a product that resonates with their audience and they make a great piece of content and a brand that they're already working with wants to promote their content, that's great for them financially and from growing their audience size, right? Because they're getting their content out in front of more eyeballs. So it is very common for them to be interested in working in that manner. You just may have to do some negotiating on what that flat fee cost might be.
Yeah, and I can imagine for them, it's kind of call it a career progression of, they're certain size and they want to get bigger. They want to work with bigger brands. So they want to kind of add to their portfolio to say, hey, look at what I did, the bump that I got. So they're incentivized for things to work out well and for you to have a good experience so that they could say, oh, Craft, in addition to working with these people, I, also did these extra things for them as well. So then that just shows, brands that they're willing to do a good job for brands. And it's not just randomly, throwing up videos.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's exactly it. I think every influencer's dream is, hey, I want to go get a deal with Nike and whoever else. But a lot of times you got to show some type of track record of content, audience, conversion rates, etc. And it's just like you said, it's that career progression, right? So unless you go crazy viral on TikTok and jump up to a few million followers overnight, you likely need to work with a few brands, figure out what content resonates with your audience, show that you're driving a positive return for sellers. You can kind of work up that ladder.
Okay. Well, good deal. So if anyone has questions, feel free to drop them into the chat and we'll get to those. We are running out of time. And so generally I have found in these things that we start getting a lot of questions at the very end. So if you ask your question now, you're more likely that you'll get your question answered. So get it in now because clock's ticking. We'll only be on until about 1 o'clock. So you mentioned there's certain metrics that they're trying to improve, like their conversion rates and stuff like that. From a platform standpoint, what should you look at when you're looking at, that they're mostly on Instagram, they're on TikTok, they're on, YouTube, what tends to be the best type of creators?
Yeah, I'd say
if that's the right question.
Yeah. I mean, there's obviously a million points of nuance to all this stuff. I'd say first off, as tempting as it'll be, don't concern yourself with TikTok right this second unless you're running TikTok Shop.
Okay.
TikTok is pretty harsh with external linking within the platform. So trying to drive links from TikTok off to Amazon, if it can even work, it's pretty inconsistent and not a major channel. So I'd say kind of the big 3 socials for us are Facebook so far is number 1. I guess in my personal estimation, but then Instagram and YouTube, those are kind of be the big 3. I love our Facebook creators. I think just the audience of Facebook and Facebook groups aligns so well with heavy Amazon users. Mm-hmm. And because all of these groups are so niche centric, when you can get product alignment with them, it can move quickly. So that'd probably be my number one. I mean, I feel like Instagram and YouTube are like proven channels, right? Like they are very, I wouldn't say there's a set playbook, but if you can get in with them, the audience are there. They've been promoting products forever on the D2C side. Nothing too unique there that you guys probably haven't thought of or seen a million times when scrolling on either of those platforms. But probably the newest one to keep in mind for Amazon specifically is Facebook. Converts at a really high rate and really high pickup within specific niches because these Facebook groups are so dialed into an interest or, a type of audience.
And so with Facebook, it's more the group you're looking at than their page. Is that the?
Yeah. I mean, so you'll work with the individual, but what we've seen, it'll be like, I don't know, again, I'll just keep using myself, but say I'm Owen, I've got a, 200,000 followers on Facebook, but most of these postings are going within the group. So I'm from Minnesota. Maybe I run a Minnesota sports Facebook group with 150,000 followers. If I come across a company selling like ice skates or gloves or something, I post in this following of 150,000 Minnesota sports fans, going to be a lot of audience overlap there, right? So while maybe I post it on my public feed, a lot more of it is within the specific interest groups that we see a lot of pickup and success with.
Okay. And is there any tips? We got lots of questions starting to come in here. Any tips on like, how do you figure out who's the right influencer? Do you get to see the products that they've promoted in the past?
Yeah. So again, you sort by vertical, follower count, all that. And then you do have, again, either one, the ability to message them, or two, we link out to all of their socials. So you can go check out their Instagram, check out their Facebook, check out their YouTube, see the type of content they promote. A really big thing to keep in mind here is that the more you invest in this channel, the better. This is going to be a seller-owned marketing channel. There is a ramp time. There is a resource investment just to make this work, because you do need to go identify the right partners and communicate with them and everything that goes into building a partner network of creators that are good for your brand. But yes, we give you kind of those resourcing to initially identify and then kind of do your research to make sure they're a good fit for you.
Awesome. Now, I would imagine, because none of this is happening in a vacuum. A lot of these creators follow other creators. So if you work with two creators in a niche, and somebody who's not on Levanta's network sees oh, there's this. Can they work with you on Levanta's network if they're not already in the network, or does Levanta vet everybody first?
100%. So we vet everybody. So say they just noticed their friend on Facebook post and they want to promote the same product. They head over to our site, sign up, we'd vet them. And as long as they don't have, either a tiny audience or questions about whether they're the person they say they are or X, Y, and Z, we approve them, and then they can go apply to that brand, get the link, start promoting. The other method is if you're a seller and you already have influencer relationships or referral partners or get recommended new creators from your network, we also have co-branded landing pages. So you can generate a Levanta times company X page to send out to new affiliates. And if they sign up through that page, bypasses our approval and everything else and gets dropped right into your program. So we do offer pretty easy external recruitment as well.
Okay, good deal. I'll hear Ahmed says how to identify and collaborate with voices that truly influence your target audience, which I think was kind of like what we just basically talked about, was, finding the right people. So hopefully that answered your question. Parisi says, if your program didn't work for some reason, is the membership cancelable without penalty?
Yeah. So they are termed agreements. They're typically, year-long, 6-month opt-out in most cases. We like to take the stance of like, hey, if you really give this an honest effort for a few months and it's not working, we'll work with you and, make things right. I will say though, and I want to stress this heavily, that this is not a overnight flip the switch channel, right? So this does take a few months to scale up. Just again, think about it. You need to set up all your products. You need to go find the affiliates, send them invites. They accept, they create content, they promote it to their audience. That just takes time. So while yes, we are more than happy to work with you if you've done all the steps and it's not working. Just also know that we do have a time commitment, just because this is not a channel that flips on overnight, right? The great thing about affiliates is it's sticky for a number of years because you have 400 different external partners promoting you at the same time. So the rates aren't going to change all at once. You're not going to have your fees doubled overnight or anything, and you can build this for the long haul. but there is that initial investment period that requires, you know, a few months of building your program up before you can decide one way or another.
Yeah. And I would imagine too, it's a little bit of like, you know, it's harder to put the toothpaste back in the tube, so to speak. Like once creators have put like content out there, like it's not like it's just right away necessarily. Some might be like right away, like TikTok or something, or Reels, for example. But you still might get a sale from that reel a year later, and so they're still expecting to get paid.
100%. And again, like you're 100% right. Especially when we're talking about like content and blogs and articles and all that. Like how many times do you go and visit an article of, I don't know, best water bottles and you see it was written like 3 years ago? All those links are still live and sellers are getting credit and creators are earning commission. So there really is that long tail as well. But yeah, that's a good way to put it, I guess. You're not going to see like immediate day one results and then fall off from everyone who picks you up.
Awesome. What kind of Facebook group? Oftentimes they don't allow soliciting unless it's once a week for any self-promoting or business. I haven't had much success. What groups do you recommend? So just to be clear, this isn't the creator saying that you can go on their Facebook group and promote. They're making the post themselves, right?
Yes. So it's the Facebook group owners doing it. So again, Mommy Blogger X has a Facebook group that she owns that has 200,000. She'll promote products within that group. So it's not actually requiring you to go and do anything with them. It's the creators themselves posting within their own communities, which again also makes it authentic and drives more conversions than if unknown person who joined the group 30 seconds ago and starts promoting their own products, you know?
And there's a certain level of trust that group owner has with the group that you can't replicate. If you're like, hey, I'm the brand, buy my stuff. But she says, hey, I'm the person that you've been following and listening to my advice. And I say, go buy this thing. Which one do you think people are going to buy on?
Yeah, exactly. Like if you've been listening to me talk about, I don't know, how much I love, again, winter and all that stuff for 3 years and hockey and all that. And then I promote you a jacket that I love, you're going to trust that opinion much more so than if you never heard of me or I'm from Arizona or something else, right? So it's building that authenticity within your community. And then that's why they choose very selective niche products that fit with their audience, their messaging and everything else there.
So Viper asks, I think I'm almost sold. Is there a discount offered for us? I don't even know the answer to that question. But
we didn't have anything officially set up, but Viper, you've been asking some good questions. So yeah, I'm more than happy to get you, I don't know, I think I'm free to offer 20% to anyone here and maybe you a little extra.
Twist some arms here.
Yeah. But just shoot me an email after this or find me on LinkedIn or anyone else and I can get you set up.
Okay, good deal. And what I was going to say is one thing that is free is everyone can go download the affiliate marketing for Amazon sellers guide, which we'll have a link to down below. Go grab that and you can learn more about affiliate marketing for Amazon sellers, because that would be kind of cool if you could get, you know, instead of paying per click, you're paying for sales on Amazon, which is not the case with PPC. You're paying per click, not paying per acquisition of a customer. So this is a pretty cool thing they've got going on here. So, all right. Nidhi asks, I came in a little late. That's okay. We're glad to have you. But do we get to pick the kind of influencer we will work with for the category?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's a really good point that I guess we kind of danced around a little bit. But you have complete control over who is promoting your brand and promoting your program, right? So it's almost a walled garden. You can invite people in, they can line up at the gates and apply. But if you don't like someone's content or they're not a fit for you, you can reject them and they don't have access to your links. They don't have access to request samples or anything else. So you do have full control over who's in your program and who has access to your brand.
Awesome. Roysh asks, I also went on influencer Facebook groups, but got crickets. So I'm assuming this is a group where you're trying to like connect with influencers. How do I pitch influencers on influencer Facebook groups that will make them interested?
Yeah, it's a good question. And this is going to be a very annoying answer, but there's so many, there's so many factors that go into it, right? So I don't know much about what your product is or what rates you're offering them or anything else, or even who this influencer Facebook group is. The answer is if you do have, a good Amazon profile set up, you have a decent amount of reviews, you can be guided by us or anyone else towards what a competitive commission rate looks like, and even effective messaging and messaging templates. If you do all that and you're competitive in your vertical, you're going to get interest. So that's a very annoying, vague answer because I don't know if I have enough context here to accurately answer for you. But those are kind of the big variables to keep in mind. It's like your existing Amazon presence, because these influencers want to know that clicks they send to your page are going to convert. They want to look at their expected earnings per click, which is just, hey, if your product's $100 and your commission is 20%, I'm going to earn $20 for every sale that I send. And then just your communication and everything else, right? They're taking all that into account because they're balancing your offer versus 10, 50, 100 others. So you just need to make sure you cut through that noise and you're a good fit for, their audience.
So do you get any sort of performance statistics of the influencers when you're looking on the marketplace within Levanta?
You get follower counts as of right now. We're working on getting some more, actual like engagement metrics within there. You have follower counts, you have access to their pages, and then again, you have access to them. So it's pretty common to just say, hey, can you send me either an example of a promotion or your click-through rates or anything else? But just because of a lot of different data access things, we're right now at the follower count is the main metric you can track.
I would imagine to get into a Facebook group as an influencer, you just have to agree to the terms of the Facebook group, or maybe, put in some question, but you guys are vetting them a little more deeply. So
yeah, we're taking a look and making sure, again, they are who they say they are. So you're not going to run into any, I'm Timothy.
I'm Kim Kardashian.
Exactly. Yeah. You're not going to run into any of that. We're checking their account just to make sure there's no, not safe for work or violent content or anything, just very broad general parameters that you'd actually want them promoting your brand, as well as there is a minimum follower count threshold, right? Just because, again, while we are happy to work with some of the micro influencers, there is a point where if you have 500 followers, the juice might not be worth the squeeze. So we're vetting all that to let them into our network so that there's a little more of a curated experience for our sellers.
Okay. And I would imagine for them to want to jump through those hoops, they would have to be ones that are willing to actually do the work of promoting the products too. So yeah,
again, it's not painless. We don't try to make it too hard for them because we don't want to dissuade good, partners from joining, but there is a barrier to entry that makes it so it's not just, any Joe Schmo with, again, 5 followers is going to hop on there and start messaging you as a seller. They're all going to have at least a audience and be who they say they are and have some history of promotion to get on and start chatting with you.
Awesome. And Michael says, this platform sounds awesome. Brands could probably get a lot of value from leveraging Levanta. I would definitely say so.
I like to think so, right? We've got a pretty good track record so far. Again, it's kind of, we give you the tools, we give you the software and tracking in the marketplace, and then you can go out and execute, and the ceiling is really, really high. Outside of, again, just direct revenue, but also that brand referral bonus and the benefits to your organic search and everything else.
Got it. Royce asks, did you mention pricing?
Yes. So again, Royce, there's a few different tiers here. Say our gold plan, which is kind of the get in the door with our full suite of features and everything else. $750 a month plus 3.5% variable fee. With that being said, again, happy to offer you guys a little discount, but also we then have higher tiers available if you're looking for a lower variable fee in exchange for higher SaaS. So a couple different options there. You can find all of our pricing on our website as well. Yeah, please hit me up if you got any questions about pricing, the platform, or anything else as well.
Well, the interesting thing is you would pay way more than $750 a month for PPC.
Yeah.
So that's interesting.
That is also, again, just quickly on this topic of just pricing and margins and everything else that people have been worried about. But what you should be looking at when you're considering the affiliate program or launching with Levanta is, hey, if I'm paying $750 a month in SaaS plus a 15% commission plus 3.5% variable fee, what revenue volume do I need to get to where $750 plus 18.5% of sales break even is profitable for me? Right? If that's a realistic number, if that's only a few percentage points of your current, monthly revenue, it's a no-brainer. And there's a lot of great halo effects. If that's going to be doubling your current sales side in a month, it's obviously a little more risky. But the good news, again, outside of that SaaS fee, everything here is purely variable. So it's pretty easy to calculate what your expected return will be.
Okay, awesome. And then we already covered the fact that sometimes the influencers will receive the free product but don't deliver upon promotion. But then again, they're still incentivized to do it. So it's kind of like you try keywords. Not every keyword gets you sales. Amazon doesn't refund you for keywords that didn't convert.
Yeah.
They say thank you, basically.
And again, there's no guarantee. We're also monitoring on our side. Like, fortunately, we haven't had to deal with this yet. But if there's any bad actors ever that we start hearing from brands that they're receiving 15 products and then ghosting you or anything, like, we're monitoring that and we can help out. But in general, again, their incentives, they're going to make a lot more money from promoting you to their audience than they're going to make from getting a free product, right? So everyone's incentives within the system are pretty aligned. But again, just very transparently, there's no direct guarantee of promotion upon product sample reception.
Awesome. Well, thank you for coming on and sharing your knowledge, Owen. This was really good. And everybody watching, thank you for joining us, and great questions and from the audience. So definitely go check out Levanta. And again, down below, we have a link in the description to download their free affiliate marketing guide. Thanks, everybody.
Yeah. Thanks, everyone. Thanks for having me, Kevin.